As you know, Hurricane Milton made landfall Wednesday evening in Siesta Key, just 15 miles north of us here in Venice, Florida.
You've likely seen some of the headlines and videos in the media, but we wanted to give you a quick update as locals here in Venice on what happened and how things are going just a few days after the storm.
We'll also share some ways you can support the recovery efforts and help those who are in need right now.
Hurricanes are a fact of life here in Florida, especially when you live near the coast. It's the price we pay a few days a year to live in paradise the rest of the year.
But if any state is prepared to handle them, it's Florida. And we are extremely thankful to have modern technology that allows us to have notice and prepare.
Venice and Sarasota County did a great job at communicating, being prepared, and coordinating resources. We secured our belongings, prepped our homes as best as we could, and many of us who live in coastal neighborhoods, including ourselves, evacuated to safer places. Milton was a storm that we all took seriously, especially on the heels of Helene. And while there are areas that got hit extremely hard and suffered significant damage, most of the extreme images that you see online and on TV are isolated and not representative of the entire area. In fact, some of the images you might have seen on the news of Venice, Florida underwater was actually more in the Nokomis area than Venice itself.
Fortunately, Venice did not get a direct hit. 10 miles makes a big difference with these storms. And early in the morning hours after the storm had passed, local city and county governments were quick to begin cleanup.
We returned the next morning after the storm and were fortunate to find that our home did not suffer any significant damage, and our coastal neighborhood only had isolated flooding in the areas along the waterways. Most of the neighborhood did just fine, and neighbors are all out checking on each other and making great progress cleaning up.
This is true for many areas around Venice as well as Wellen Park. After returning to check on our house, we spent the next couple of days running around to check in on our friends, neighbors, families, current clients, and past clients as well. We were giving reports to those who were not in town, and we checked on all of our current projects under construction. Overall, things fared quite well. In newer areas such as Beachwalk and Wellen Park, you really wouldn't know that a storm came through besides some small debris, small trees down, and overall the neighborhood looked really, really great. In fact, most of Wellen Park had power the very next day after the storm. Downtown Wellen Park even had restaurants up and running and even had live music the following night.
We're also really happy to report that historic downtown Venice looks pretty good. This area did not suffer the widespread flooding that we feared. We drove around the Venice Beach area, and the water line showed that the surge did not go very far inland, and it appears that only the homes and condos on the first floor and closest to the water got hit. The city has already made great progress at cleanup, but of course there's still plenty to be done. There are some trees and downed debris, but that's to be expected. However, everyone is already out cleaning up and working hard to get our little beach town back to its charming self. It'll take some time, but we know this storm isn't going to stop the fun down here. That being said, we are not minimizing this storm. There is certainly major damage done. However, most of that is isolated to coastal areas and low-lying areas near the water.
Places in Venice like the South Jetty and Sharky's suffered significant damage, as well as the Venice Fishing Pier. Other areas such as Casperson Beach, Blind Pass Beach, down in Siesta Key already had damage from Helene. Now they were made even worse by Milton. So recovery in those areas will likely take quite some time. As of now, more parts of Venice are getting more power, grocery stores are open, gas stations are starting to have more fuel, stoplights are working, and quite a number of restaurants are back up and running as well.
We even went out to dinner last night with friends. We filled up our car with gas this morning after going to the grocery store. Even the Venice Avenue Creamery in downtown Venice is open today and serving ice cream. And we see people out and about enjoying the beach and shark tooth hunting too. It's not 100% normal, so please have patience. Some residents are just getting power and Wi-Fi now, and cell service has improved dramatically. All around town you'll see power trucks and heavy equipment working hard to get everything cleaned up and back and running as soon as we can.
Even though Venice and Wellen Park seem to be bouncing back, we realize that other areas along the coast, as well as barrier islands like Siesta Key, Siesta Key, Lido, Longboat, and north into Tampa, are hurting badly. It breaks our hearts to see that not everyone was as fortunate as us.
And this extends all the way to the beautiful city of Asheville and the small towns in the Western Carolina area, which are still recovering from Helene. We have very close ties to that area, as Josh used to live there and began his real estate career there, and we have family and friends there too. So it's been a really hard few weeks for a lot of us in this area and all around the country. And if you want to help support the recovery efforts, we encourage you to do so. There are a lot of people out there who could use our help right now, all along and up the Florida coast and even into the Carolinas. Let's spread love, kindness, resources, and support to them with any type of support that we can.
At the end of this video, we will include some great organizations where you can help with recovery efforts as well. Thank you for watching. We hope you found this video helpful, and feel free to reach out if you have any questions about Venice, Wellen Park, or any of the surrounding areas.